Playfulness. Do you find yourself playful or do you find yourself more serious? I've come to recognize that a lot of high performers with perfectionism undoubtedly find themselves being more towards the serious end rather than the playful end. To bloom beyond perfectionism means to come back to your inner playfulness. And that inner playfulness allows you to go about creation, loving, and basically just being more magnetic. Because when you are playful, you are present. How can you be playful without being present? When you're playful, you center yourself in the here and now, and you don't allow this whole before and after, this whole past and future to distract you. You come into now. That's not to say that you're just sitting around meditating. It means that you utilize and use this energy of playfulness in everything that you do, in every interaction you have. You come from that inner centeredness of playfulness. Do you know what this does? It allows for the weights that you've been carrying, the backpack that's been heavy. You allow that to be taken off. So you return to lightness. This is what happens. You declutter yourself. You declutter yourself of beliefs that no longer serve you. You declutter the people, places, and things that no longer resonate. You basically remove and let go of that which does not serve you in returning to your playfulness. Playfulness is a state of letting go. And that is why playfulness is a core feminine virtue, really. Because the feminine virtue really equals to letting go, surrendering, returning, right? Playfulness is therefore an aspect, right, of feminine essence that is sort of lightness. And if you think of it in the normal sense, because let's say masculine men are more warriors, leaders in their essence, they may often be more serious and less prone to being spontaneous and silly and playful. Now, a lot of women, because a lot of women have taken on this masculine energy to stabilize the polarity that has become inverted between men and women now, because a lot of women have that masculine essence too now, a lot of women too struggle to be spontaneous, silly, and playful. So it's not necessarily anymore about men and women having that difference. Actually, I see a lot of high performers with perfectionism, both men and women, that struggle with being spontaneous, struggle with being silly, struggle with being playful. And this is not something you do. It's something that you allow yourself to be. Now, playfulness is also, when you're tapping into the child in you, yeah? When you're having fun, you're then able to take things less seriously and take things lightly, so to speak, and just be silly, right? And how are you going to be silly if you're constantly, from moment to moment, concerned about what others think of you or how you think that others think of you? If you're constantly concerned about your self-image, about how you come off to people, about the physical vessel of you, about how you look, about how you present yourself, how you speak, how are you going to surrender into playfulness? These things, they do not go hand in hand. So when you're being concerned about the image and how you come off, and you allow that to drive you, which is what happens when you have perfectionism, it's hard to be creative then. It's hard to be loving then. It's hard to do pretty much anything then. So to bloom beyond perfectionism is to be spontaneous, is to be silly, is to take things lightly and feel light within. You can take things lightly when you yourself are light, when you yourself take yourself lightly. This is very charismatic. It's very, very charismatic to take things lightly. People cannot help but be drawn to it. People cannot help but put energy into you and want to spend time around you and invest in you and see you grow. When you have this playful side to you, this playful energy to you about how you go about everything. Embracing your inner child then, taking yourself less seriously, just infusing your interactions, with spontaneous, lighthearted fun is extremely feminine and charismatic. And it allows you to be less uptight. This was actually one of the main things that I did not like about myself when I had perfectionism. I didn't like that I was that uptight around others. And even in my own company, I felt uptight. I felt like I took everything so goddamn seriously. And I thought a lot about the way that I went about the world and the way that I spoke and the way that I presented everything. I thought more about the end result and the outcome than the actual progress and the purpose and the presence. Playfulness is a practice too. You get to practice it. And this is exactly what I support you with within the Bloom Beyond Tribe, but more so also specifically within the Bloom Beyond Perfectionism program, because there, the initiative and the intention is to allow yourself to practice playfulness. Because if you've spent a lifetime or a lot of time being serious and being praised for being serious and seeing so much more kind of positive feedback from being uptight, then it will take some practice in unconditioning that, in coming back to what you truly are, which is playful, so that you can bring that state back into whatever you do, wherever you are, whichever conversation you're having, and interaction you're having. It just feels so much lighter, so much lighter. And I wish that for you too. Always, always, always. So I would love to support you in coming back to this playfulness, coming back to your radiance, your magnetism, and all the other qualities of feminine essence, which playfulness really is the most fun one, I'd say. So you can go to bloombeyond.com/apply to come into the Bloom Beyond tribe for a free monthly cohort. And from there, you can also then explore and get into the Bloom Beyond Perfectionism program. I love you so much, and stay playful and stay bright, brave, and balanced.